everybody. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Let's get over to comments. So, I know a couple of you are on here. I saw Cindy and Deb and Penny. So, awesome. I'm still trying to figure out why usernames show up with numbers, but I noticed they don't do that in Gail's video. It's kind of weird. I don't know what's different about my setup, or maybe it's my channel. I don't even know. So, let me know that you can hear me. I think I've got everything right. So yeah, Debbie, I am feeling better. But my throat, my voice is still going out. Like Tuesday night at pool, it was not good by the end of the night. So, hey, Gail's here, Sue's here, awesome. Hi, Carol. So all day today, no coughing. Then like 20 minutes ago, cough, 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 starts back up. So, uh, I'm gonna get through it, okay? Because this project is really cute and I can't stand it. But yeah, otherwise I'm feeling better. And I was busy today. I ended up having to stay home because furlough, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going back tomorrow. But I got a bunch of Christmas cards done. And I just posted those. So yeah, welcome everybody for being here. ToniStamps, that's me. Um, yeah, I worked on 2 card kits today. Well, 4 actually. So there was Farmhouse Christmas, or what is it? Road to Christmas. I had 3 of those, and then the Calm and Bright. And Calm and Bright was one that had stamps with it, and like, you stamp the greeting, and then all the things are die cut. Hey Peggy. And like assembly. The Road to Christmas, there was no stamping on those. But still, it took me about 4 hours to get all those kits done. But I am happy. I have about 65 or so cards in my stash already. So I'm more than halfway to where I need to be for this year. So that's awesome. I did put the links for those 2 kits I used. Unfortunately, they're unavailable right now. Wah, wah. But I figured out they are going to come back. It's just a matter of time. So sign up for how you can sign up for get a notification and email when they're back in stock. So do that if you're interested in them. They are coming back because it says that. If they were out of stock entirely, they would just be gone completely from the store. So that alone tells me that they are coming back. Hey, Jamie Gibbs. So yeah, those 2 kits. We're getting some, we get at least 2, sometimes 3 new kits every month. So the new batch will be November 4th. So that is just next week. Can't believe it. And those look really cute. So uh, check back on November 4th for those. And then 2 more things. The starter kit special ends tomorrow. So even if you don't want to buy anything, sell anything, you just get, free stuff for yourself, right? It's $35. You get to pick $125 worth of stuff. That ends tomorrow. Free shipping, free paper pumpkin kit. So yeah, let me know. Hit me up if you're interested in that. So then the last thing I want to talk about is, so I do the Wreaths Across America fundraiser every year. So I did the math. Hey Karen, you're at work for a while. Awesome. Oh, I'm glad you got that. Yay. Um, so Wreaths Across America, I've been doing this. This will be the 6th year. Like my mom and I started it, it was 2020. So like meh, 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 this is the 6th year that we've been doing this. So you guys, together we have done a lot. It's awesome. So that will start. I'm gonna have my blog post for that on Saturday, which will be November 1st. So again, I'm gonna have 2 ways that you can help. One, I have a link to my group it stays good year round. My Wreaths Across America. It's called ToniStamps Wreath Fundraiser, I think is the name of it. But that stays good all year round. So you can order wreaths anytime you want, really. So that's the first way, is you can order directly, because my goal is to get 100 wreaths sponsored, bought, whatever. The second way you can help is anybody who orders with me in November. I take 25% of the sales, and then 20 or 25, I think 25. And then I match that. So I double it. So just for math, if my sales are $1,000, that'll be 250 is 25%, and then I'll double it. I'll match my own. So that'll be $500 worth of wreaths that I will buy in my group. So, two ways that you can help. And so, my group used to be a 2 for 3 program, which was for every 2 wreaths we bought, we got one free. Well, they canceled that last year and they turned it into they call it $5 a head. So, and they raised the price of the wreaths. So, the wreaths are $17. That's the same as last year. For every wreath that we get sponsored or bought, $5 goes towards another wreath. So really, if we get 3 wreaths and change, and they do it by decimal points too. So hey, Trudy. So if we get 3 wreaths, that'll be $15 towards another wreath. So which is almost. So it seems like 4 wreaths will get a wreath and change. Math, blah blah blah. But that's coming. So I love doing that, and my group is still registered with the same Crownsville cemetery here in Maryland. That's where my dad is. Dave's parents are in Arlington. Um, but I had to pick one, right? So Crownsville it is. And so that's that. So I'll be posting that and sharing it. And once I post that blog, like if you guys can share it, that would be awesome. Because the more traffic it gets, people may buy wreaths. And then, yeah, math, blah, blah, blah. All right. So let's go down here. And like I said, I feel like my voice is already getting scratchy. So let's go down. I'm going to get through it though. So first, I got some fun mail this week. I got a Halloween card from Peggy. I love it. She is super coloring and I just love it. Like all these little crazy stamps. So thank you, Peggy. And then Cindy had sent me this a couple weeks ago and I forgot to say, hey, I got it, but she was cleaning out her stash. So she gave me this Gina K embossing folder. Like that looks like fun. Like greenery that can be used year round. And then some stamps. Look at these. Very cute. I don't even think you used these, Cindy. And these ones, I like this one. May your day be as bright as your smile. You make my heart bloom. That would be good with flowers for sure. But this is a really fun one. And there's dies on the back. Crazy. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Carol K. We got 2 Carols. So, all right, tonight we're making, this is called a vertical paper bag mini album. This was my prototype that I made like 3 years ago and change. So what we're using is paper, like treat bags are the actual pages. See how we got down in here? So when Sharon sent me these bags, I was like, oh my God, I haven't been able to find these in so long. And she got them. I don't know where she got them. She found them in her stash. I did look in Amazon and I found some that are similar and I put those in my Amazon store, but they are not as wide. So like these are 4 1/4 wide. The ones I found at Amazon are only 3 1/2. But same principle will apply, right? You just need some little treat bag. Um, so this one I used green ones. They used to sell them in Michael's and Joann's, and they just quit. And even Walmart, I would find some occasionally. But this I just barely cut down, and this one was really tall, like over 8 inches. So same idea, but smaller album and not as many pages. So we're going to start with our bags. And this one's going to be a 4-page book. So like I said, they're 4 1/4 wide and they are, how long? I want to make them 6 1/4 long. They're about 6 1/2, but I want to cut this, jaggedy edge, off the top because you could keep it, but it makes it hard putting in tags because everything wants to catch on these little teeth. So I just cut it off, make it nice and even. That makes me happier. So 6 1/4 and 6 1/4. So we've got our 4 paper bags. These are going to be our pages, and each one is going to be the same. I may do them like this, like facing each other, because we're going to make this a pocket, and then we're going to add in this gusset here, we're going to add a little flip. So we'll come back to these. So we've got our bags. Now let's go on our cover. And as always, I will have all my measurements on my blog this weekend. So you're going to need 2 pieces of chipboard. that are 4.5 by 6 3/4. So the reason you go bigger is you want some leeway around your pages. So you don't want you don't want your book the exact same size. There have been albums where I did make them the same size, the pages, and I don't really care for that. So make them a little bit bigger. So 2 pieces of that, add your adhesive. So I've got this 6-inch roll of this tear and tape, or what's it called? Score tape. You could also use the adhesive sheets that Stampin' Up sells. They're just a little bit thinner. And I like this better now that I got it. So 2 pieces for the front and back cover, 4.5 by 6 3/4. Then our spine is going to be 1 1/4 by 6 3/4. And again, cover that as best you can too. So I already went and wrapped this cover because I'm going to be using the lay flat method that I like from Country Craft Creations. So we're going to wrap these pieces too. So you're going to need 2 pieces of Mossy Meadow. I'm getting my spacers. So for the covers, so this was 4.5 by 6 3/4. Our cardstock, we want to be 2 inches bigger on each side. So 2 pieces of this that are 6.5 by 8 3/4. And I'm going to use my 1 inch. Now you don't have to use spacers. You can eyeball it. It's not that big a deal. It would be a bigger deal if this was patterned and you wanted it to stay straight. But for now, it doesn't really matter. I just like using these because they keep everything nice and tidy. So we'll peel our adhesive off and we're going to just butt it up right into this corner. All right, and then I'm going to burnish that. So I already did the one. Then we've got our spine piece. Now on our spine, we want an inch taller, like top and bottom, and then we want 1.5 inches on each side. So this piece of Mossy Meadow is 4 1/4 by 8 3/4. And I've got this spacer is 1.5 and 1. So that is just for the spines using their lay flat method. I guess they could order these, get them made whatever size they want. Oops, this doesn't want to pick off nice. Come on. Oh, I'm ripping it. All right. It's good enough. Now for this chipboard, I use the stuff that I get in the paper pumpkins. It's not the best, but it's good enough for these mini albums. All right, now we want to burnish, burnish, burnish all over these. And then we're going to start with this one. And you're going to need some kind of tear and tape or score tape for this part. So I just cracked a new roll open. So I like to start with, we go the edge of the chipboard. And I am glad I did one of these ahead of time because I am really worried about how long this is going to take me. But I think it'll be fine. We'll see. Because the pages are like super easy. All right, and then I want to put it at the edge of the cardstock. And I'm not going to go all the way to this edge because, remember, we're going to cut this off at an angle. But let's get this down. And then we're going to burnish. And I may have to take water breaks. I am starting to feel froggy. Okay, burnish, burnish, burnish. All the things. All right. Now, for cutting the edges off, the corners rather, we want to leave a smidge, like maybe the scissors width. And I'm going to go just at an angle. There are tools. See how I've got that? That's about maybe bigger, a little smidge bigger than 1/16 of an inch. But they have tools, bookbinding things that will help you measure and get a really nice cut. I just eyeball it. All right, now let's do our bending. So we want to bend our cardstock. So we have to train it so it goes in the right direction. And you want to do this gently but firmly because we don't want cracks along the sides. All right, so do that. Then we're going to come in with our bone folder, the flat end of our bone folder, and run that right up to the edge. All right, because we want it to know that it's going to lay right up against the edge of our chipboard. And am I in frame? Yep. Okay. All right. Now I like to start with the long ends. We're going to run a bead of glue right here at the seam, and then peel this off and this, and then glue all up here. All right. And we're just going to start in the middle and push down and out. And glue is going to seep out. That's okay. I'm going to get a paper towel. All right, and then I'm going to run that flat side right up against the edge. All right. Actually, let me just wipe it here. Don't waste it, all right? All right, same thing with this side. Glue. Pick off our tape. Oh, and by the way, I didn't even say the papers we're using are the Floral Charm. They are, I believe, an online exclusive. And then the Country Woods, because those are still available. And I feel like they go with everything, right? Like the different wood patterns. But then when I put them with the flowers, they really go nice. Okay, last, the short sides. So now I want to take the curved end of my bone folder. And yeah, Carol, the coughing was starting up again, and yeah, the voice is going. But I feel better than last week. All right, so I want to press down on these little the edges here because we want those to fold in nice. Yeah, Jamie, you volunteer and tribute. She can be my Vanna White. All right. I mean, I feel like anybody could do this part, right? Because you guys have seen me do the covering of the chipboards enough. All right, it's the same thing. Bead of glue. And we'll drag this over. This came together nice. So if it didn't match up exactly like in the corners like this, it's not the end of the world because we're going to add a piece to cover that anyway. But I love it. Those are some good corners too. Nice, nice, nice. All right, let's peel this tape off. This tape. Glue. I really do like this lay flat method, with the spine being a separate piece. At first I was like, oh, I don't know. But I've made so many of them this way. It really lays a lot nicer than trying to piece together your different size paper to make like one continuous piece of cardstock. Because the lump where they join, it doesn't fold nice. All right, so we've got that. Good corners. Good. So you see here, there's no cracking on this. I don't know if that's gonna get in focus. Let me take it down. What is up with that? Like it's not wanting to focus. Well, trust me, there's no cracking on there. Okay, now our spine piece. So what we want to do, flip it over, and we're going to take again this curved side and you want to find where the edge is and just start gently back and forth a couple times. And I may not have laid this down evenly. Like when I look at it, it looks straight, but it feels crooked. All right, so there's that. And then come on this side and this side. And we're going to go right up to it. All right, and then a little bit of this side. I feel like I do this part different just about every time. So I'm going to start by bending because I do want to, train that cardstock again right up to the edge and burnish. And this time, yeah, let's fold it this way. And I want to pinch these edges because we're going to cut this corner off. All right, fold that, press. Now we can see. So we've got this corner and this corner. And I'm going to go straight and then straight as I can. But we're going to end up trimming this part off anyway. I mean, not off. We're going to trim it down at an angle. All right, so this just takes like bulk out that we don't need. But now we're going to do the same thing. Glue, and I forgot my tape already. I do want a little bit of tape right there. This tape isn't critical, like the glue would suffice. But why not? All right, and then we'll burnish, 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 and peel, peel. More glue. And we're going to flip this over. And again, I'm going to come in with my bone folder right along the edge because I want that nice and crisp as well. All right, I'm going to do the same thing here. I was so happy when Sharon sent me these, and I've got some more fun little bags from Cindy to do something with. But I really needed these because these are gusseted, and that's how the gusset is actually how we're going to attach it to the spine. All right, cool. So we've got that. That doesn't look great, but we're trimming this. So we want to trim these edges just a smidge. So we want to put our scissors right at the edge and then angle in a little bit, just like that. All right, and then same thing here. Come over. Yeah, that corner, I don't like that so much. All right, I hope that's gonna fold in nice. All right, same thing here. And at the edge and push it in. All right, now I want to bend this a little this way and a little this way, and a little this way. And gently go again with the rounded edge because I want that cardstock to go down the side of this chipboard. All right, now you need your scoreboard again, or anything that will give you like flat, because I want to keep this nice and even. So what I want to do is we're going to bring in our cover and we're going to lay it about 1/8 of an inch off of this edge. Okay, so I'm going to have it about like, let's see if we can get like that so that you can see it. Okay. So let's add a little bit of tape. And I do still like a tape and glue. The glue I do like better, but I like the tape for a little bit more, a little bit extra. The thing with the tape is, even if I burnish it, like it may decide to peel up, and I don't like that. Whereas glue, once it dries, like that's it. All right, so we're gonna peel this. I'm gonna put glue right here and then fill it in. And I was running the glue about an eighth of an inch off. So now this is going to help me keep everything straight up here. So I can line these up. And press down. That looks like everything is straight. Yep. Okay. Let's burnish. Get that glue out of there. So as far as a cover goes, this is pretty good. All right. Now, see the glue that's hanging out there? Like, that's okay. I do really want to give it a little wipe, though. Okay. Because it's going to dry clear. But let's just get rid of it. All right, now I'll do the same thing here. Flip it around. Actually, let's do our dry fit first. Yep, everything is going to stay nice and straight. And if your covers aren't perfectly straight, like, it's not the end of the world. Like, these are handmade books, right? All right, so, more glue. Let's do a little bit right there. Okay, that looks really good. All right, flip it, burnish. Okay. Nice. I like it. All right, I think I want that little wonky corner. I'm going to want that on the back. So this will be the front of my album. Oh, I love it. So another thing with the lay flat method is it doesn't like alligator. It doesn't want to stand up like this. Like it wants to lay nice and flat. Ah, perfect. Okay. So let's just do some more burnishing. And let me check my notes. We cut the bags, we wrapped the cover. We did our lay flat method. Okay, next we're gonna work on the hinge. All right, which is what our pages are gonna attach to. And we're also gonna add cardstock here and here. But let's work on our hinge next. So I decided I wanted the hinge and the inside pieces to be pecan pie, just because I thought it matched closer to the color of the bags. So you want to, depending on the color of your bags, you might want to think your color choices differently. All right, I've got 3 pieces here. All right, that's right. They're actually the same. Okay, our hinge. I want 1/2 inch hinges with, I believe, a 1/4 inch gusset. So this hinge piece, this is pecan pie, and it's 4 3/4 wide by 6 1/8. So you remember my book is 6 3/4. My pages are 6 1/4. All right, so we're gonna have about that much. You want your spine to be, or your hinges to be, just a smidge shorter than your pages that you're putting in, just so it covers it up. You could have them exactly the same, but then if you got it crooked, like you might see it. So having it an eighth of an inch difference is, I think that's going to work out good. Okay, so all the scoring is going to be on the blog. I'll try to go slow though. 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1 1/4. Oh, and I realized I got to do it on this side. 1 1/4, because I want that H on the bottom. I had to make sure I had the right piece for my hinge, so I had to label it. All right, 1 1/4, 1 3/4, 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 3, 3 1/2, 3 3/4, and 4 1/4. All right. I know the math drives you guys crazy, but when you're making a hinge like this, you have to have it, right? So each one, this is a hinge and a hinge. I'm going to glue these together. That's a 1/2 inch each. Then I've got my 1/4 inch gusset, hinge, hinge, gusset, hinge, hinge, gusset, hinge, hinge. So let's start by folding these. So I want to fold all my hinges to be mountains. And then our gussets will be valleys. And I'm going to burnish every time. Yeah. So this is just a matter of, folding everything. Once you get this hinge going, everything's going to want to go in the right direction. It's going to want to pinch into place. All right, pinch that hinge and get that gusset and that gusset. Okay. All right, so we're going to have 4 hinges and 3 gussets. Okay. So now we want to glue our hinges together. This is where you could use tape in this too. But I'm just gonna, for the sake of it, I'm just gonna do glue. And I'm gonna pinch this together. Oh, whoopsie. All right, so this hinge is hanging over the edge a little bit, so I'm gonna have to trim that. So I should have checked that before I glued it. So you see that? How it's hanging over? Like, that's no good. And that's just because of the way it folds. But I'm gonna just trim this off with my scissors. Because this part right here is going to get glued to the base of our album, and that edge hanging over, it would not allow this to move. So that's why we can't have anything hanging over. And let's trim that. All right, good. Let me check this one before I glue it. Now this one's good. Okay. It's usually like the last, like at the end, that there would be any overhang. All right, let's do that. We're going to burnish that. Get all this glue up. At least this glue dries very quick. Yeah, the last album that I made, I had used tape on the bottom, and some of it wanted to lift up. I had to like pull it up and get back in there with some glue to add. So I was like, I think I'm going to use just glue on my hinges from now on, even the attaching it to the book part. All right, I'm going to pinch this together. Oh, public service announcement. So last night I was going through, my brother had left a couple boxes of stuff when he moved. So it was stuff from my mom, like from her house. And all this time I've had it for, I don't know, 8 or 9 months. I thought it was his stuff. No, he meant for me to go through it. So some stuff like my Girl Scout uniform from when I was 8. I don't know why she still had that, but I'm glad she did. Like, I'll do something with it. But more tax returns from 1967 and 1969. Like, why? So, just a service announcement. Do not do that to your children. Paperwork, get rid of whatever you can. There is no need. And she even kept the book. So you remember the books, like the pamphlets that you get from the IRS that tells you like how to file your taxes? She kept all that. Unnecessary. So it went in my shred pile. All right, so we've got our nice hinge. Ooh, I love it. Our 4 hinges and our 3 gussets. So now we're gonna bring our base back, and we want to, with the lay flat method, like this is wobbly wobbly because, you know, these are our hinges. We need to add a piece of cardstock to cover this up, and that's going to give this just enough stability for our album to not be, um, you know, because we don't really want it to fold over like this. We want it to stay nice. So the way this works out, it just so happens these 3 pieces to cover the middle and then both sides are all the same size. And that's just weird. That's not normal. But that's just how it worked out for this time. So these pieces are they the same? Oh, no, wait, look. 2 different. One 4 1/4 by 6 5/8. Yep. Okay. This is the middle then. 4 1/4 because that was the same width as our this Mossy Meadow cardstock. All right. So we're going to put this right here. And I did 6 5/8 because I wanted just a smidge at the top and bottom. Sometimes I'll go a 1/4 inch. But this time I wanted to go just an 1/8 of an inch. So yeah, it's a good size album for sure. Okay. So more tape and more glue. So we're going to start with the middle piece. And I'm just going to do a couple of strips of tape because I mostly want the glue. Since I've decided that I like that better. Previously, I would cover this whole bit and this whole bit with tape. And it's just not necessary. It doesn't get the hold that I want anyway. I mean, this is going to hold it, but all right. So burnish, burnish, burnish. We want this tape really, really on there. Okay. And then I'm going to peel all these up if I can. And then I'm going to do glue. Here we go. Oh, all right. Get rid of this tape. So I'm going to do glue in these, like the inside part of our hinge, just like I did when I was wrapping it, just to give that a little extra. And then I'm going to go all over and down here. And wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And all wiggle, wiggle, wiggle down the whole spine, just to the very edges. All right, let's get rid of that glue booger. Now we're going to set this, and this is going to be like the same width as this piece. So I really just want to worry about the top and bottom and keeping it even. All right, that looks good. So now before this sets, I want to feel in, you want to get this, like start this going. And let's, actually I got to turn this around this way. So I want to take the curved end again and right in the seam here. All right, and get that firm, but not firm enough that you're gonna like rip through the paper. All right, so that looks good. And oops, come on now. Burnish, burnish, burnish. Actually, let's just burnish all this. Did that move? It may have, but all right, we're going to deal with it. All right, now let's come back again. And so you want all that adhesive because you don't want any buckling. All right. We want everything flat. No bubbles, no buckling. And so here we go. Moving this up. That's good. And then we'll flip it around. And same thing, we'll start it and get that bone folder in there and up and down, back and forth as we drag the cover up. All right, that is good. And now our book is going to stay nice. Love it. Okay, now with these pieces, they're just going to go to the very edge, and then it's just going to be consistent. So if anything's like a little bit crooked, once we add our hinge, like you're not going to notice because it's all tone on tone. All right, so let's add this. Perfect. I love it. Now, one thing I did not add on this album was any pockets on the front and back covers, but you could certainly do that if you want. My goal is just to show you how to make these, use these paper bags. Oh, and by the way, this idea, I originally got this. I put the link in there. My sister Scrapper, it's a lady Ginger. She has since passed. Like when I made this in 2022, the prototype anyway, I think her video was like a year old at that point, and she passed like right before I was looking at it. So, wah wah. She had a lot of good, she still has a lot of good videos out there. And I even took a class where she was the album instructor, like making it. So, my sister's Scrapper, and I don't know what her last name is, but maybe Rob or something. But she was very popular in the like the mini album making world, and her talents are sorely missed. But this paper bag, vertical paper bag mini album, the idea came from her originally. And of course, your measurements are going to be dependent on the size of your bags. All right. Okay, so I love it. Okay, now we're ready. Oh, I love it. I love it. So we're ready to add our hinges, or yeah, our hinge piece. So I want this to be centered in this area, like I said scrapper, Lisa, not crapper. My sister's scrapper, yeah. Okay, I do need another drink of water. Okay, so I want this even in this 1¼ inch spine and top to bottom. And it looks like I can just split it like this, like fold both sides down, and then that'll help me figure out where I want to put this. Now, if you don't get this perfectly straight, um, we can fix it by how we attach the pages, but let's try to keep it straight. So I'm going to use this T ruler that I got, and I'm going to have it down on this side, and I want it to go about there. So let's put that right there. So I am eyeballing, and I want to put glue on just these 3 strips in the middle. Man, the voice is really starting to go now. Ugh. Yeah, so Dave's had this for about 3 weeks, and his is finally clearing up, but he still has a cough. And my cough isn't as bad, but I mean, I still have it. All right. But the throat thing is different. Like, he doesn't have the scratchy throat. All right, that looks perfect. Okay, sweet. Now, again, we want to burnish burnish, burnish, get all this glue down. So let's fold this one up. And this size just happens to be, I think it might be a little bit bigger than a 1/4 inch, but it goes in these grooves like pretty nice. All right, let's do this one. And then fold it this way. So this is where I found in my previous album, I had tape under this layer and it was pulling up. So I had to like go back in and get my glue in here and, you know, shove that down. So, but I got it. All right, so we'll flip these all. You want to flip them back and forth just because, you know, this is your hinge that your pages are going to turn on. All right, that looks good. So I don't know if you can see that, but that is a good, solid seal. Nothing's popping up. Yeah, Jamie, you do need to be my ventriloquist. I need to redesign my scrap room so there could be a chair you can ride sidecar. Okay, now we're ready to start adding our pages, finally. So these are our bags for our pages. And what we're gonna do is this gusseted part is gonna go onto here. All right. The thing we have to do is, so the gusset, see how that comes in at an angle? Well, in my previous album, before I attached this spine, the hinges, I miter cut this, like, let me see, I can just draw on it, about like this much. All right. And that's crazy. I didn't want to do that. So what I thought I would do on these is I'm just going to go in here with a little blade and only on the one side. So I want, oh, actually, I got to pay attention because I wanted to do these, this one like that, this one like that, then this one like that, this one like this. Okay, because I want the pockets to face each other. All right, so going in on this side, so I'm just going to take a blade and make a little cut mark in that gusset. All right, and that's going to let me add it right there. Okay, and I can go right to the very edge. All right, sweet. Because I really didn't like the idea of trimming that. Okay, oh, I love it. It's going perfect. So when we add these, we want the edge of our bag to come about, let's say at least a 1/16, maybe an 1/8 wouldn't be horrible. We need it, we don't want it flush to the bottom of that hinge because that will impede the movement. I'm gonna go for a 1/16 of an inch. All right, and I am going to set that in here first. I'm gonna use glue and I'm gonna try to drag it from the back first, from this side, because there's no glue on that side. All right, so let's just place it in here. Get that up, and that looks good. Bring that up to my face. Yep, and you want to keep everything straight down there, straight to the bottom edge of your album. All right, that looks perfect. That's gonna move like that. Nice, now I can just lift this up and add glue. All right, perfect. Now we're not gonna glue these gussets yet because we have to attach our flips to them. And I just realized, Christ, it's 10 of 9, yikes. All right, so again, I'm going to, now I have to flip it this way because I want this side, so. And I think once I get these pages in, so again, like make that little cut, Can you see how I'm cutting that much? Once I get these pages in, I'll decorate one or two. We'll see how it goes. All right, so this is going to go on like that and keep the bottom flush. Looks really nice. Okay. Ooh, you know what? I can just hold it. Add the glue. Get that on there, that side. And again, you know, like a 1/16 of an inch off from the bottom of our hinge. And we flip this page over and I can put glue right here. You can put it in the middle, like right here, but you don't have to. And then we'll give that a burnish. You guys, I love it. So straight, straight, straight. Awesome. All right, so then this next one is going to go in like this. So again, we just open it, cut that corner. Make sure this is going to slip on here. It is. Keep everything's nice and straight. Yep. All right. I like this that I'm able to like hold this down and did I just rip that? No. All right, cool. And then lift this up to get the glue in. And I think that's just because these are paper bags and they're easier to work with. All right, I feel like that went a little bit crooked. All right, not the end of the world. I think I got it. That looks like a smidge off, but it is going to be fine. All right. Ooh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, last one. And I want this to face that way. So let's get in here and cut this. And then we'll slide this one on. Come on, what the last one's going to give me trouble? Okay. And flush across the bottom. And I'm going to push this. There we go. So that's good. That is looking pretty perfect. All right, a little bit more glue right there. Oh my God. Okay. So on this side, we can see that's more like 1/8 of an inch, but who cares? It's about 1/8 of an inch on this side too. But on this side, closer to the fold, it looks a 1/16. Either way, that's what we want. Perfecto. All right, and we've got all of our pages in. Now, don't worry that I did cut like the bottom of this. It doesn't matter. All right, let's go with that. Okay, now for each page, let's just start at the beginning. I want to have an insert. Okay, well, not an insert, a flip. So like this one, we've got this flip out piece. So that's what we're gonna add. So I've got 4 pieces of pecan pie, and these are 4 1/4. No, wait, these are 4.5 by 6, and I scored it at 4 inches. So we just want to fold this over, burnish, and what we're going to do is slide this in this way. Oh, and you know what? We got to cut this side too. Duh. because I'm trying to add that. There we go, that 1/2 inch bit. So this little 1/2 inch piece is gonna go right in here. And I want that centered because our bag is like 6.5, 6.25 or something, and this is 6. I didn't want it to be the exact. So there we go. All right, so I do want to put this in first. Actually, I think you could put your designer papers on if you wanted first, but I just want to show you guys where it's going. So I'm going to hold it this way so I can center it. And if it sticks out the top a little bit, not the end of the world. Okay. Now, so we've got this on. Here's our flip. Now we can close this side of the gusset. So now I can come back in and add glue right there. All right, and then all this glue makes this, it's going to be even sturdier when everything dries. All right, so that's that. Then this is going to be a pocket. So let's go through one whole set and then you'll see what I'm talking about. So for each page, you're going to want a piece that I did the wood piece, the wood print, and this is 4x6. So yeah, I've got front DSP. Yep. 4x6. I'm putting this on the front of our paper bag page. And this is like a 1/4 inch border. All right, 4x6 there. Then we've got a piece. This is for the front of our flip. And this floral piece is 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. And I left the back side of this blank. You could put another piece on this side, but I felt like I like the wood and that can be plain. All right, so we've got that. And I didn't use any magnets on this. You don't have to, but you could. So then on the back for the pocket, I want to cover just this much. So this piece of designer paper, and you could use either side. I think I was going to use the green side. Yeah. So this piece is 4x4.5. All right. So the 4.5 length. Yeah, I wanted it different on the front and back. So you want to put this piece on first. Get that centered. Now we want to close up this pocket. So we want to put glue just at the very edges of this part of the bag. All right, I got to hold that for a minute. Yeah, Peggy, paper bag journals are fun. And you could do this with regular size lunch bags. You would just have to make everything bigger because the bags themselves are bigger. You're right, Jamie. Can't see it from an airplane. All right, then I've got Timid Tiger. This is 2 1/8 by 4 1/8. And then again, another piece of the wood designer paper that actually once I cut these pieces, I had like cut off. So that's where I did this. This piece is 2x4. And I did situate them so it's not the same wood print on the front as the back. All right, and this has just an 1/8 inch border. Oh, okay. And we're gonna put this right down. Right on our pocket. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So you see, if you wanted to put a pocket here, you could. You could do like, a 3-sided gusseted pocket. All right, let's do the next one. So it's 9 o'clock. I'm just gonna keep going, okay? Because I have just a couple. Actually, let's do all these cuts. And I'm gonna do it from the side. this one and this one. Because I did cut some inserts to do in our pockets, like tags, if you will. But all right, same thing. We're gonna start with our pecan pie, our flip. And at this point, I can do all of these like at the same time. All right, so I want to slide it in here. Make sure it's gonna line up good. Yep. Now with this one, this is gonna stick out a little bit more because this part of the paper bag, see this very edge, how that sticks out a little bit? So that's gonna prevent this piece from sliding in as far as the first one. So, but that's okay. All right, so let's just do that. Yep, let's do this, get glue. And I didn't miter the corners of these, the sides, because you just don't need to. These are gonna go in nice. All right, let's do that. That looks about even. Okay. Burnish, burnish, burnish. Flip this up. Glue, glue, glue. Burnish, 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 burnish. Okay. Same thing. 2 more times. So yeah, I don't like to, well, no, it's not that I don't like to. I think it's easier for me and easier for you, like to keep the designs similar, like of the pages. So, you know, I don't have to make every page different. I don't feel the need to anyway. For me, I can handle a couple of different designs and then that's about all I feel like doing. All right, so let's get that in there. I love it. Now we're gonna go glue. And I did stamp and die cut a whole bunch of flowers, but I'm not gonna get to this. But I wanted to just like rough color them and, you know, place them here and there. But that'll be a for later task. All right, I got that. So glue. I love it. So yeah, if you had different size lunch bags, for sure, that would make a really nice album like this. And lunch bags are wider, so that would be even like more real estate. I love a good mini album that you can hold like a bunch of pictures. All right. Love, love, love. Okay. Let's go to this one. Now, this set, I was going with some blues. So let's do our wood. Oh, all right. I didn't think about this when I flipped it. So, okay, this is still going to work. Wah, wah. This time my wood's going to be on this side because I cut that. Okay. Our flowers, that'll still go on the front of our flip. Yeah, I didn't even think about that when I decided on the fly to just flip it and have like the pockets facing each other. But this will be fine. Last minute change ups. All right, that looks straight. Love it, love it. All right, so again, I've got this piece that's 4 by 4.5. So I'm going to put this one down first. Then we'll close up our pocket. All right, that's cool. And just on the very edges. And I can hold that and then get a drink of water. Mm-mm-mm. Do you have to glue the sides of the pockets? So yes, I did glue, after I put the inserts in, these flip ins, I did glue the side of the bag, if that's what you meant. But yeah. Oh, did you mean these sides? Yes. I glued just up the sides of those. So this is going to be kind of weird with the two different woods since I changed my mind on it, but whatever. It's still going to be a nice book. All right. Ooh, I like it. So we got the Timid Tiger, the orange, and then then we've got wood. Then our next batch is, you didn't see me glue the first pocket sides? Okay. Yep. But you knew. You were right. All right. So this one, I've got this flower piece. And again, this is, what is this one? 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. And that's going to go right on that flip. And these colors are the same or similar, you know, with the Timid Tiger, but they are different. All right, then we'll add our wood piece. And again, this is 4 by 6. I'm glad they carried this Country Woods over, just because it is so versatile, I think. All right. Okay, those don't look bad together for not being planned. All right, back side, we've got our 4 by 4.5, and this is Pretty Peacock. I do like the colors. So these seem kind of like regal, fall-y colors to me. Jewel tones. All right, and then we will glue our pockets. Hold that down. And then we've got this one. So again, this DSP is 2 by 4, and then the cardstock is 2 1/8 by, 4 1/8. Yikes. So even though this is floral paper, like, you don't have to add flowers as your ephemera bits if you don't want to. You could add birds, birthday cakes, like whatever. And then the last one is this beautiful Blackberry Bliss. Love it. Love it. Love it. Jamie, you're in for the long haul. You are. It's Toni TV time. Oh, and you guys, so this Saturday I've got my, I do that Friends of Unity blog hop. I've been doing that for a couple months since they asked me. So this month, I actually have to make that card tonight after I get off here. This month's theme is creative background. So I'm going to use like some different word stamps to create my background. And oops, I almost glued that on the wrong piece. So anyway, there's also going to be Unity is offering a couple of gift cards. So there's going to be an album, and I'll have to link to the right Facebook group where they want you to post your creations, and they're giving away 3 $25 gift cards. Unity is. So I think that's pretty cool. All right, so that's the wood piece. Bam, bam. And then this piece. And get that layered. So yeah, if Sharon is watching, if I have missed her, these craft bags are awesome. And I just used 4. I think she sent me 10. So I can make another one of these Or I can make one that has 6 pages. I don't even know. All right, that looks good. Yeah, I think I will have to add some flowers or something, even just to these little bits, just to break up the fact that it's like 2 different wood prints, you know, like facing each other. But I love it. All right. And I did have an idea for the cover. I will just go through that. But let's talk about inserts first. So, since our bags are pockets, ooh, I got a lot of glue on my fingers. So these will open up and we can put stuff in here. The tricky part is, so the side that has the pocket, that pocket, like there's a fold right here. So the bag on that side doesn't go down as far as the other side. So you can put, I made long tags. So you just may have to decide like which side of the gussets you're going to put your tags in. You want it on the side that will hold the long ones. So anyway, I've got 4 pieces. I just picked the same 4 colors as, oh, I didn't, wait a minute. That's somehow I ended up with, oh yeah, Misty Moonlight. Oh, and Mossy Meadow. We'll do Mossy Meadow for the last one. So these I cut 3 3/4. I don't want to lie to you. 3 3/4. Yep. By 6. And then I did tabs. I punched out from the tabs the same color. I don't want these to stand up too much, but let's just see. And I want them to go kind of in order. So we'll do this one. I just want the little rounded bit to hang up over the edge of that. And then I'll show you. All right. So this will slide right in here. I love it. Now, if this, okay, it's not going to hang over the top of my album, but if it did, I wouldn't care. So, all right, I like that. I wanted to do the Timid Tiger for the front one. And you could do more than just this one. If you wanted to do 2, that's up to you. Like 2 tags for each pocket. It'll take it. All right, that didn't fold down as nice as I wanted, but all right, let's put that in the front. Ooh, nice. All right, so see how I'm going like left, right, and I'll do the next, the same. Left, right, left, right. So we'll do, I guess I'm gonna do Mossy Meadow on this one. Yeah, I am really feeling like the voice wants to go quitsies now. So this is probably just in time. All right, so do that. Love it. And that's gonna slide right in there. Okay, you guys. So do you think these colors are folly enough with the flowers, with the floral charm? I mean, I thought they could be like autumn-ish. Yeah, I like these colors too, Jimmy. All right, and let's get this last tag in there. Oh, nice. You guys, I love it. Look at that. And of course, you can layer these tags, so feel free. But, you know, tuck pictures in here. Picture, 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 picture. Do something here if you want. And you can tuck, you know, more tags in here. I love it. So that 1/4 inch seems to be a good gusset for this. And I don't feel like even if I put some stuff up on dimensionals, it'll be fine. But look, I don't even have to have any ribbon closures. Like, it's gonna stay nice by itself. And it's gonna stay nice on a bookshelf. Like, once it sits like this overnight, this flattens out for sure. I just want you to know that. But here was my idea for the front cover. Like, I wasn't sure if I was gonna put designer paper, but I definitely wanted to, because I want to put pictures of like my friends in this one. So I've got like a 2 3/8 inch circle. And then I wasn't sure. I did pecan pie and mossy meadow and pecan pie. I wasn't sure which one of these I want to use, but I want to bring in an old favorite, this Biggest Wishes. And I want to do friend. And I need the S from thanks. So I have done this before where we're just going to ink up the S on there. And if I mess this up, like I cut a bunch of them. So I think if I put it like right there. So I'm thinking Mossy Meadow for this ink. Yeah, because this one isn't like super juicy. All right, so let's put that there. I'm going to hold it for a minute. Not a minute, a few seconds. Okay, liking it. Now the tricky part is I just want to ink up this S. So it's a good thing they're clear because I got some on that K. Oh, no, I'm gonna start over. Too much mess up. All right, where's my rag? All right, try again. Just the very edge. Oh, I gotta concentrate. Okay, I think I got it. And now I'm just going to eyeball with the rest of the letters, top and bottom. Oh my God, you guys, that is like perfect. So it looks like there was a little hair there. Can you see like that little white spot? But I'm gonna call it like, okay. So wipe this. And I'm probably, let's see, like that. And I want to add like something like either embossed or a piece of the designer paper. Like, oh, whoopsie, didn't mean to hit that. But I want to have like that. And then like a flower that I will color. And there might not be enough room for this big one. It might have to be like a little one, a cluster. So I think I'm going to go with that. But I love that. So that worked out perfect. So another score for the clear stamps. Lisa, you vote for the pecan pie on the bottom. I kind of like that too. I really have to wait and see like how it's going to look with this because I might have to even do a different color than pecan. I wonder if I might even do the timid tiger just because that's like what it's in this print. So that's something to think about. But yeah, you guys, I love this little book. And yep, no cracking, no cracking. I love it. So yeah, hearts, likes, shares. I appreciate you guys. Let me go back here. And Sharon, you just got here. Oh my God. Okay, well, you're gonna have to start from the beginning, but I used the little bags that you gave me to make these pages. Like that's what the whole album was centered around was the bags that you gave me. So that's hilarious that you got on finally. Okay, so next weekend not next weekend, duh. Next week, I'm going to do stuff with, I've had a lot of ideas with different plaids. Like we have so many plaid things, like papers. There's some stamps that can make plaids. We can make our own plaids with markers, the embossing folder. So I just want to put like a bunch of those together. So next week it'll be, I don't know, random like birthday, thank you, like whatever theme, but it's going to be a lot of plaids. So thanks again, you guys, for being here and hanging out. I appreciate it. And I hope you love this. I will have, obviously, my blog will be updated this weekend, and I'll get the cover done so you can see that. I'll decide on that, and then I'll have pictures on the blog too. So, okay, thanks, you guys. Good night. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you later. Bye.